A recent report out of the University of Ottawa found that in just the past decade and a half, student-on-teacher violence has become a problem in this province. David Rockney-Corrigan is our Eastern Ontario Hub journalist. He's been looking into that and joined us now from our studio at Queen's University in Kingston for more. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Jan.
Now, student-on-teacher violence is escalating. Can you give us an idea on the numbers over the years?
Sure. I think that the title of this particular study says it all. It's called Facing the Facts, the Escalating Crisis of Violence Against Elementary School Educators in Ontario. And the numbers are startling. So this study, which these two professors out of University of Ottawa did following the 2017-2018 school year with about 1,700 elementary school educators across the province, was comparing incidents of violence in that school year, 2017-2018, to 2005. So in 2005, about 7% of elementary school educators in the province had experienced some sort of violent incident over the course of their career. And if you fast forward 12 years later to the 2017-2018 school year, that number had jumped to 54% of educators having experienced a violent incident just in that school year. So that's more than a six-fold increase. It's obviously very, very troubling. There are, indications that people of color, people who are marginalized, racialized, women, people with disabilities, educators with disabilities, LGBTQ educators are more likely to experience this violence. This violence is recurring and it's frequent. And I think perhaps most troubling is that almost half of it is going unreported. This survey found that almost half of educators in the province weren't even reporting their worst incidents of violence in that school year. So the numbers do really paint a picture here.
So let's get into some possible reasons why we've seen some of this escalation. Some school boards integrate special needs students into these classrooms. What effect does that have?
Sure, and before I talk about Wendy Goods, who I interviewed in my story, I want to say that I did reach out to several teachers, elementary school teachers across the province, and none of them wanted to go on the record. So that this is an issue, and I mean, viewers at home can talk to their teacher friends. This is a problem, and I'm sure teachers would have their stories. And one of those stories is from Wendy Goods. She's a retired elementary school teacher out of Peterborough. And she told me that in the last couple of years of her teaching career, that she was bitten, she was hit, she was punched, she was kicked, she had things thrown at her, she was choked. Everything, you name it, those are her words, happened to her. And this is something that, happened more likely in her mind because she was in a special education, a special needs classroom for those last couple of years. And, she wants to stress that as wonderful as these students are and the incredible progress that they make over the school year, that they are more prone perhaps to violent or abusive or harassment-like behavior. And she says that it's because there's not enough supports for teachers and for these students in these special needs classrooms. She would like to see more social workers, more guidance counselors, more mental health workers, and she says that's not happening. And of course, that's something that the Ontario government would dispute. I did reach out to them as part of my reporting, and they tell me that they are investing in special education, but I think for teachers like Wendy Goods, and certainly the two co-authors, they would say, okay, prove it. And, the criminologist who co-authored this study, Chris Bruckert, she says that when you have a crisis like this, and you've got, as we do now in 2020, a move towards larger class sizes, that's a recipe for disaster. If you have larger classes, you have more children in the classroom, you've got more possibilities for tension and a higher likelihood that one of these students may act out in an aggressive or violent way.
I want to go back to the study. The numbers you look at are from 2005. A lot has changed when we look at the classroom, the media landscape, the use of technology in particular. Social media, does that play into this at all?
Well, that is one of the theories. So one of the authors of this study, clinical psychologist Darcy Santor, he suggested that, yeah, social media does play a part in this, what it means to grow up as an elementary school student in the 21st century, and the sort of immediate response that we get off social media, that we can sort of get that barometer right away. We put something out into the world, we say something, we do something, and right away we get that response. And what he was suggesting is that in the classroom, perhaps when this social media combined with the increasing pressures that parents and teachers put on our students, that when there are frustrations, when things don't go their way, that students aren't properly, they don't have the proper tools to handle dissatisfaction. They don't have the proper tools to deal with their frustrations. And so what happens, according to Santor in many cases, and the testimonials in this survey do bear this out, is that they don't have the proper tools to deal with frustration, so they become aggressive and they act out violently.
Now, this is on the radar of at least one union during contract negotiations, isn't it?
Yes. So ETFO, the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, this is a big concern for them. They've actually put together a multi-year strategy aimed at tackling this issue. Just last month in Toronto, they held a violence in the workplace symposium for ETFO members and other members, and there were mental health professionals there. There were psychologists there. So this is an issue they're taking very seriously. I know the CTF, the Canadian Teachers Federation, is also taking this very seriously. And it is actually, I know that it has become an issue at the bargaining table. As many of you know, the various teachers' unions are in negotiations, at various stages of negotiations with the provincial government. And this is something that has been brought up by ETFO. They want, as I mentioned earlier, they want to see more supports for especially students with special needs and special education. For my story, I interviewed Sam Hammond, the president of ETFO, and he says, yes, this is a major concern for teachers right across the province. And he says that the province isn't doing enough to support teachers that have students with special needs. This is a framing that the Ontario government would dispute, but it is something that has come up at the bargaining table.
Let's talk about that. What is the province saying in regards to escalating violence?
Well, in a statement to me, they made it clear that they're aware of the problem. They think that this is something that they want to make sure that all of the classrooms, our communities, are safe. So they acknowledge, yes, it is a problem, but they also tell me that they are putting in money and putting in resources to make sure that the front lines, if you will, in these classrooms are well guarded and well protected and safe for our teachers and the broader school community. So that's their positioning. They do believe that they are moving in the right direction on that.
David, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Of course, it's something we'll keep an eye on as the negotiations go on as well. Always a pleasure to have you. That's David Rockne Corrigan, our Eastern Ontario Hub journalist. Thank you again.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.